Mr. Chairman, the rate of growth of public debt is a matter of concern. Ghana's total external debt has increased from 3.9 billion at the end of 2008 to 7.1 billion in 2011. That is external debt, an increase of 82% in 3 years. This does not include the China loan of 3 billion. In just the last 3 years, ladies and gentlemen, Ghana's total public debt, just the last 3 years, has increased. The total public debt, just look at where it was in 2008. The total debt, which is domestic debt and external debt together, our total public debt has increased from 9 billion Ghana cedis to 25 billion Ghana cedis. In just 3 years, 164% increase. What is mind-boggling, Mr. Chairman, is that even after adjusting for HIPIC, the stock of public debt that has been accumulated over the last 3 years alone is higher than the total stock of debt accumulated by all other governments since independence to 2008. The government has accumulated more debt in 3 years than all governments have done in 52 years. And this is what is worrying. What is increasingly clear is that corruption in Ghana is on the increase, as documented by the worsening performance in the Corruption Perception Index published by Transparency International. The overpricing of supplies contracts in areas such as health, education, and infrastructure, as well as judgment debts paid for work not done, is a major concern. Government is not getting value for money and is paying monies for no work done. The increasing resort to single source procurement compromises the transparency of the procurement process. When monies are paid for no work done, as is the case in some of these judgment debts, it creates a liquidity overhang, as we call in economics. That is too much money which is not matched by output. And when you have too much money that is not matched by output, that money finds its way into prices and eventually into the exchange rate. It is also costly to the country in terms of the work that could have been done. You will recall, for example, that some banks in the country need a capital of 60 million Ghana cedis to meet the Bank of Ghana minimum capital requirements, which we had set before we left office. 60 million. Banks are trying to merge to meet the 60 million capital requirement. Some of the judgment debts paid for no work done could set up 2 or more banks that would provide small and medium scale enterprises credit to help in their business. In the case of 2 such payments for these judgment debts, we could have built 756 unit classroom blocks at the current prices, just 2 of those judgment debts. And if we used more realistic prices, we would have built 1,506 unit classroom blocks. These payments were also more than the total amount, just 2 judgment debts that we know about, were more than the total amount allocated to the Ministry of Health and Education, excluding salaries, in the 2012 budget. The total amount allocated to the Ministry of Health and Education and education. The total amount excluding wages was 96 million Ghana cedis. There are 2 judgment debts which exceed that. The opportunity cost is very high. Mr. Chairman, I now want to turn to exchange rate depreciation. The Ghana cedi is currently in free fall and depreciating virtually on a daily basis. In fact, this is what you are seeing as a Midonyami exchange rate, because it is going all the way.